Hey guys, good morning, good afternoon, whatever it may be. Can you hear me? Can everyone hear me okay? Let me know if you can hear me okay. I am flying solo today. Ella's got all sorts of stuff she's busy with, and so I'm flying solo. So tell me if I am audible. It's good to see everyone today. I am really excited to do this commission live today. Hey Alan, C, DJ, good to see you guys. We're gonna be working on Alan's commission today, and we're gonna keep working on Rayan, his Shark Boy character, and I'm going to be doing a few things to him. We're gonna work on making him like we're gonna work on Flux Destinifying him. He's got this really cool concept, and we're gonna work to kind of like work on his outfit and make him that. I'm gonna make some adjustments to what I originally drew to him. Um, so that I can kind of make him more like what Alan wants. And so we're gonna do a couple of those things. So I'm just gonna play some music and work on that, and we'll kind of go from there. And it's a big thank you to Alan who designed our our online character builder for Flux Fantasy. So if you haven't checked that out, there's links in our like link tree. You can go check it out. It's pretty cool. Um, hey Ruben, Entity, Corn, Jacoby, good to see you guys. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started. You know the drill. I'm gonna start the music. Give me 1 second here. We're gonna get going. Hey there. All right, let's get the music started. I'm switching over, and I'm gonna get into like designer mode. So I'm gonna be kind of like focused. So I will occasionally glance over. I'm not ignoring you if I don't see your comments. I'm just like super focused on the art. All right, ready? I did see the beta version. Is that the one that had the you moved some things around in it? I think I did see the beta. You just posted it like last week or something. I think it was. You have to resend it to me and Ella because I remember it was looking pretty good. Okay, is the music good for you guys? All right, we're gonna get going. So we're gonna make a couple changes to him. I'm gonna finish up his face first, and then we're gonna work on his design, the rest of his design. But we're gonna give him a Taurus on one of his legs. We're gonna make him escape artist like with his clothes, um, and we're gonna make some of these effects like cosplay karmastry related. So that's kind of how we're gonna approach this today. All right, let's get going. We're gonna slim him up a little bit. Aw, Carl, you brought cakes. That is, I'm gonna have to screenshot that comment. That's pretty adorable. Thank you, Ella. I really like how the eyes turned out too on him. I think he's such a cool character. You're so funny. We're all trying to make healthy choices, and he's bringing in cakes. I don't disagree with you about the cakes. I really like cake. Really like cake. Hey, Omid. I hope he likes cakes, but that's up to Alan. Oh, I like that one, Ella. Darkfin is pretty cool. Yes, that's super cool. That's a great stage name. So, what is his power specifically? Cosplay karmastry, or does he have some? Is he like a bio escape art? Like what? I forgot what his story was. Oh, Ella's telling me it's hydro water karmastry. Okay, well, naturally, I should have known that. I like this idea. I know we kind of talked about this on the last stream that you have him living in Big Dipper, and I like the idea that I don't know narratively why this would exist, but it would be kind of interesting if he had a surf shop in Big Dipper, which is kind of like silly because why would you have a surf shop there, given its location? But there has to be some like some interesting story justification for that, which would be super cool. Just like like why would you have a surf shop in a place like that? And it would just be an something interesting to do, How would Hugo and Marco describe themselves to someone who's never met? So I think Hugo would describe himself like, you mean like when you say describe himself, you mean like their personality, or you mean like who they are, like what they do, or what specifically about describing themselves? Money laundering, obviously. That's funny. Oh, a sushi restaurant. That works too. Maybe it's attached to a surf shop. Right? That doesn't make any sense. I don't know. I don't want to keep pushing the surf shop idea, but I just I think it's kind of funny. I like the idea that he runs a sushi restaurant. That's really cool, actually. Love stuff like that in stories. Personality. Oh, okay. Well, I think Hugo would describe himself as like, okay, he's like, I'm super, I think he considers himself super friendly and like, because he really wants friends. But he's also super passionate about karmastry. He's like, typical kind of like super nerdy about it. So anything that's like karmastry or like nerd culture kind of stuff, I think Hugo would be like, he's the guy who would go with you to the comic book shop, right? And stuff like that. Like that's the kind of stuff he really likes, collecting stuff, and intellectually curious, I think he'd describe himself in that way. I think Marco is like would describe himself in terms of personality. I think he would see himself as like the others. I mean, if he described himself, I think he would kind of, if you want my honest opinion, the way I see Marco with things like that is that Marco would not give that information easily. Marco, I mentioned before, is not like doesn't just open up and give information about himself the way Hugo does. Hugo likes to just talk, right? Like Hugo just talks and talks and talks, like he's like a chatterbox. Marco is kind of a suspicious. He is not suspicious. He's suspicious of other people's motives, and so I don't think he would just give someone like a dossier about himself. He'd be like, "Why do you want to know?" Right? That's how I see it. I think he wouldn't give that information about himself, and so. Like Hugo being his best friend obviously knows everything about Marco, so he knows him, right? But he wouldn't just go like revealing that information. Hey, Purple. I love that about Omid wanting to be the best in biochemistry. So yeah, I hope that answers it. And you'll see kind of like when we get to there's 2 Marco chapters manga that at the beginning, there's a a chapter where you first meet him. That's not a chapter scene. There's a scene that you meet him next after Hugo's introduction, and then later you're gonna meet Marco's family. Like you're gonna meet his sister, and you're gonna get to see more about his home life at the time of the start of the story. And so I think you'll see in that interaction, it'll tell you a lot. That's exactly what would happen, Carl. He would just start talking, and he would just tell you everything, because I think Hugo assumes that everyone is like as interested in everything else as he is. So he just, sure, I'll tell you everything, you know. And he you know, he obviously loves Marco and he admires him, so he would start talking about Marco. Marco would be like, will you please just shut up? You know? Damn. Please shut up. I love the sushi restaurant idea. I think that's great. I think you're gonna really like meeting his family. They have a interesting role in the story, but you'll definitely meet Marco's sister. Marco has 2 sisters, and so you'll meet his sisters, and eventually you'll meet his dad, who his dad is has an ink fighting shop, like he's a tattoo artist. Oh, Rodrigo would get annoyed with Hugo quickly. Why? Because he talks too much? Or Hugo. I'm sad now. I could see that though. I'd understand why. Like if you see like in the videos the way Hugo is in the explainer videos, I mean that should, you know, he just talks. He doesn't shut up. Alan, the more I think about this and the sushi restaurant stuff, the more I really dig this. See, and I think that Marco, like especially in the story that Ella wrote about where Omid and Marco and Hugo are together, like Marco, I think feels like he's a pretty good judge of character, or at least he feels that. Whether that's true is a different story. But like, he knows that Omid is like a good person, right? Like during the story, he's friendly to Omid because he can sense that he's a genuine person, right? And they become friends that way. I don't think it's easy to become friends with Marco. Oh, hey, you know what? Lucas and Hugo can get together, and then they just will never shut up, right? They'll just be talking and talking and talking forever. And then we can let Alex and everyone else, Alex and Rodrigo and all them, they can go. Alex, Rodrigo, and Marco can go sit along. But see, Marco is not broody or anything. You know, so he's just more, like I said, selective on who he hangs out with. So it doesn't mean that just suddenly he's going to just start opening his mouth and talking about stuff that he'll still talk about stuff he's passionate about, right? Like creative karmastry and stuff, but he's not gonna like talk about himself in the same way that Hugo would. Absolutely. How's he looking, Carl? I mean, Alan. We're gonna get to. This is probably gonna take me another session to do this all properly, but I want to get his head done first and got that solidified. Then work on his clothes. I'm gonna slim him down a little bit for you. So I think it's a good sign, Omid, that Marco was so friendly with Omid. I'll tell you that. He wouldn't do that. Oh, cool. I'm glad you like the goggles. He wouldn't do that so freely. I think he really knows. Omid is good people. Okay, so I'll slim down his body when we get to that. I was doing him more like the reference photos, but I get what you want this time. We'll slim him down. We'll make him more swimmer like. Corn. It's so funny. I think all our OCs end up like that. So they're roommates. So him and Elko are roommates. So have some high tech. So is he? Do you want him to have a high tech like clothes because does that go with the character, or is it just because he happens to share the? Or you just want that aesthetic on it? Yeah, I would say Marco is more like hard. That should tell you a lot. Like when you learn more about how Hugo became best friends, everything will make a lot more sense if you go. And you'll see why they make such a good pair that way. Okay, got it. Hey, Mark. You will see Marco very soon, actually. So there's this Hugo scene is about 16 pages long, and after that, Marco goes about it. So he's about to show, and he's got his own not much longer. Thanks, Mark. Not much longer. And you're gonna get to meet a new great escapist named Tycoon, is Marco's mentor. Yeah, we're excited to reveal him. Oh, you can't hear me? I'm cutting out. Is it still bad? Is this better? Let me make sure my mic is actually coming through. Could be, yeah. Your comics were very funny, Mark. I've got it right here. See, it's right in my face now. So I've got it right here so I can just lean into it with my terrible posture. I'm like in the worst posture right now. Does anyone know where this music, this is from some anime, and it's, I know I've seen this and I cannot place it. Does anyone know what this song is? All for you, Carl. All for you guys. Don't forget me. Attack on Titan? Okay. Really? I know I've heard it somewhere. I didn't think it was Attack on Titan. I'm not saying I'm right, but I thought, I don't know why I was thinking, like, I know it's not this, but I was thinking My Hero or something. Couldn't place it. I really like his eyes. Pretty proud of those. Call of Silence? Okay. I like this song. And I was like, I knew I heard it somewhere, but I associate it so much now with the streams because it plays often. So that means I'm doing my job right, Alan. Aw. Yeah, that'd be awesome if you could do that. All right, let's now we've got his head done. So we can go in now and start working on his clothes and his body. So we're gonna slim him down a bit, body, because we're gonna make him more swimmer like. So he was a little buff the way I built him first time, so we're gonna adjust that. It's gonna take me a minute. Alan, how tall do you think he is? Just so I can get a sense of like his proportions. Oh, you do like this body type? I mean, let me know and I can change him. And how tall is he? Super tall? I was just looking at the like, is he 6 feet and above? Is he smaller than that? Like, how do I just so I can kind of get. That'll help me with the design. Super rough. Redo the body a bit. Oh, you want him shorter. So like Alcor's like Flux Alcor's short, right? Like how tall is Flux Alcor? Like Hugo is. Would you say that so Hugo at the start of the story is like 5'7"? Is he taller than Hugo? Is he shorter than Hugo? Just so I have like a sense of his scale. And Hugo and Alcor, I don't remember if or Omid's, you know, Omid's tall, right? Omid's pretty tall. So is Omid like he's 5'5"? Oh, okay, so he's 5'5". Okay. That's gonna change this a bit. Because I gotta change the proportions a bit. I said that's gonna change things a bit. Because I gotta change his proportions. So if he's about 5'5". Alright, hold on. I want to give him a little bit of a bigger head. Omid is 6'4". Wow. Omid is, he's even taller than I remember. Wow. Omid is tall, bro. Hugo would literally have to do like this to look up at. All right, so we're gonna slim him down a bit because just proportion. Yeah, he's probably one of the tallest OCs. Alan, how's this proportion? I'm gonna rework the body a little bit, but I just proportion-wise, do you like this proportion? I've kind of changed the proportion a little bit since he's short, way shorter than I thought. He's either 5'1" or 6 feet, so that's a big difference. If you want him to be 6 foot, then I would change the proportions back a little bit. If you want him 5'1", then he would probably have this. So you let me know. Oh, so you're 6'4", Omid? Wow, so you are super tall. I'm gonna admit that sometimes, so I'm 5'9". I sometimes will find myself standing on, like, slowly lifting my, like, standing on my toes just a little bit. Like I'll lift my heels off the floor because I want to be taller. So okay, so 6 feet. All right. whether he's short or tall. I think it would be cool if he's taller, and the reason why is you've already got Alcor in this world who is, how tall is Alcor? So probably around, like I said, I think he's about Hugo's height. And so it would be a cool like juxtaposition if they were roommates and such, and he's taller than. That's just my opinion. I bet you've. I can imagine that's tall. Okay, so we're gonna go with taller. Flux version is gonna be taller. So let me just need to do some work on his body. To adjust it a bit. We're gonna do another rough. Just get the proportions right. A little more. 5'5". Okay, so he's 5'5". So he's closer to Hugo's height, which makes sense. I'm just redoing his body just to be in this proportion, but also just to give him a little more, what's it called? Swimmer. Oh, thank you, Mark. Well, I will take that. I am flattered by that. I try to mix a bunch of different influences into my style. Obviously, things like that you mentioned, like influence me. I found that a big influence from when I was a kid was Mega Man, and so that's why some of my stuff is like super cartoony. Was that I was very like influenced by Mega Man and Sonic the Hedgehog and things like that. So it made my design more cartoony, and I fight that a lot, But I try to have a little bit of like, I try to make my style cute. I call it like 50% cute, 50% cool, Oh, that's a tall OC. I love Mega Man. I love the aesthetic, the Mega Man aesthetic. I'm more like the old school Mega Man stuff. I just really love the aesthetic, and so you can even see some of it in the stuff I do. Like, look at the goggles. You can kind of see. You can see influences from the old school Mega Man stuff in what I do. Here, real quick. I first started learning to draw because of Mega Man. So I used to trace over the Mega Man characters, and I think that really influenced so much of what I do. It's still Mega Man. I love the Capcom design. Oh, that's awesome, Mark. That's very cool. I love that whole era, like the Sonic the Hedgehog. What's his name? Mega Man. All that. I eat all that up. Oh, that's a cool combination. It's funny because I just started rewatching the Boondocks. I hadn't seen it since it came out, and it was um I've only rewatched like the first episode. I need to watch more, but it did have an interesting aesthetic to it. Pokemon, absolutely. There's just something about that kind of aesthetic that's really awesome. You know, those aesthetics, those kind of like again, it's like cute plus cool. That's how I look at it. Cute plus cool. I think you have both. I think when you go too far on the cool angle, you start getting like things become like hyper realistic. Like I always look at things in terms of like a spectrum of like, okay, cool. If you had this like if you had this little graph right here and it's like this is cool, or hold on, this is cute, and this is cool. When you go too far, this is kind of where I like to be, like right here. I think My Hero and things like that fall in this category, like kind of this area here. But when you start, the more you go on this side of the spectrum, then you start getting hyper realistic and things get to the point of like Marvel, DC, you know, kind of aesthetic. That's kind of how I look at it. So Boondocks is funny. Boondocks is very funny. I love the first episode when they go to that guy's, like that rich guy's house, and everyone just doesn't get that they're being serious. You know, like they're just not. No one's getting the things that they're saying. They're just like, it's just so, everyone is so oblivious, which I think is really funny. It's great, right? It's so funny. We're doing all this cosmetic surgery, getting this. Gotta get everything fixed up. This is why I don't do any of the clothes or anything until I really get everything else right. Because so much based on the clothing doesn't matter if the underlying structure is not right. Kind of. Oh, the Boondocks that made your day. It's a really great show. It's so legitimate. It would be kind of cool if he has if they have a sushi shop. If he kind of looked, you can tell me no if you don't like this idea. I know you want to do kind of stuff with him, like you want to kind of make him tech, and I can totally do that. But to like dress him up in that sort of way, you know, like a sushi chef would be kind of interesting. I don't have to do that. I can do the more tech wear because I know you really dig the tech wear aesthetic. I can do that, but that's just something I wanted to throw out there. Okay, I think we're ready to start doing a little bit of design on him. We're gonna have to do a second session to keep working on him, but I think we're in a good place to start putting. I don't. Is that a character or a person? It sounds kind of familiar. Maybe you can tell me what. Oh, you know what? I think I might follow this guy on Instagram. That name is sounding familiar. I think I know. Do you have an Instagram link that you can maybe send me? I think I know. I think I might have already followed this guy. Now I was like, that sounds familiar, but I didn't. If I know if we're talking about the same person, he's got a really cool style. Okay, let's start working on his put on his outfit. Why don't we give him like Alan? I don't know if you're there, but we can give him like the bodysuit that you like to like, especially like it could be like a swim. You know the sweatsuit. Like he could have a wetsuit. I could make it a sleeveless sweatsuit. I don't know if such thing exists, but if you want me to do a sleeveless sweatsuit, that way he and I know Alcor has that compression suit too. Ella likes it. Occasionally, I have a good idea. So this would be his wet. Not going to be magenta. I'm having it so I can see it. But it will look a little bit like this. A little bit like this. What is this? This is another song that's familiar, and I'm trying to remember where this is from. Anyone know where this? We're gonna layer on a wetsuit. This, and we're gonna put like I could put like board shorts over the wetsuit. So he's got this wetsuit that maybe goes since it cuts off at his shoulder. Maybe it just goes to his like this, and then what we can do is we can give him board shorts, and I could make the board shorts kind of like Alcor techie like board shorts. So he has kind of this wetsuit like this, and then we'll add in some shorts. Or no shorts or no shorts? Alcor has the shorts, right? I mean, I guess we could go. I think it would look cooler with the shorts, like especially if he's in a sushi restaurant. I don't know if like walking around with just the wetsuit. No one would eat their dinner. Everyone would be too distracted. I think if we gave him some cool shorts. And then he's got a Taurus on his leg, right? So we could put one like an ankle bracelet, like we could put it over here. I know what the people want. That's right. I know what I'm doing. What would it be like if we gave him the wetsuit? More of the wetsuit? Shorts or an apron? Oh, the apron's a cool idea. Okay, so if I remember with Alcor had those shorts, they're kind of open. You like so his are open because he's got that works with the aesthetic. For Rayan here, he's got like board shorts, which wouldn't have an opening unless you want me to. So we would do this. See what would happen if I make his wetsuit go all the way down to his feet, which I think is kind of cool too. Maybe we should go with this, like a full wetsuit, but leave his shoulders. So we'll just have it go down to his ankles, and then we'll leave the shoulders off. And then the apron, we can just give him like a waist apron, so that do we want to cover all this up here? I don't know. Let's see how they look. Yeah, waist apron. That's what I was thinking, like a waist. We'll just put it on his waist here. You don't work so hard on a chest like that to cover it up with an apron. Although, let me see. Yeah, but then you're not gonna see all the abs. So we're gonna give him an apron here just on his waist. Okay. Do you want do you want him to have any particular kind of shoes? Or like, can he just have flip-flops? Or he could go barefoot too if you wanted. I don't know if, I guess if his, well, if it was on the beach, if his sushi restaurant's in Big Dipper, probably needs shoes. We can kind of give him a jacket, kind of like the, like this kind of like little jacket, almost like a, maybe not even a jacket, it's more like a vest, almost like a swim vest. Okay, so we can do that with the shoes. See. See, you were hysterical. I gotta screenshot that. That's so funny. Alan, if you don't like it, tell me. If you want me to make it look like Alcor, I will. I was just trying to theme him since he's, since he has a sushi restaurant, water. I was trying to make him a little different than Alcor, since Alcor is so tech-based. But if you want me to change this, I'm happy to get rid of the apron and wetsuit and whatever. You just tell me. I want you to be happy with it. So. I can go total Alcor on him if you want me to Alcor him out, I'll do it. I mean, we can keep the compression suit. You just tell me. You like this idea? Okay, don't tell me later you don't like it, because I don't tell me later. Oh, you didn't. I wanted Alcor and you gave me sushi. You gave me sushi, chef. See, calling me out like that. You were so funny. I like this better too than high tech because I think it fits the character. That's why I was kind of pushing it in this direction. I just don't want to do something that Alan doesn't want. Okay, I need to kind of wrap up because I have to go to my next thing, but we'll do a next session on him. I think he should have a necklace too. I think we need to have like a shark tooth necklace. I know that's might sound there, like just like a single shark tooth, which would be really cool. Like that. You know what he needs to be saying right here? I don't know what's happening here with this shape. Hot sushi chef works. Yeah, exactly. Hot sushi chef. That aesthetic. Who doesn't go with that hot sushi chef aesthetic? I can tell you no one has done that yet in the Flux universe, so it would be very unique. How about this? Yeah, I know. There. All right, so I think we got a good foundation for him now. So we'll do another session with him, and we will go in and we will fix up his, we'll finalize his clothes, and we'll get to cleaning him up, and we'll add any final like little details. I think if you want, Al, I know how you like the markings down the compression suit. We could give him a marking like Alcor does too, where you just have the stripes going down the sides or something. Would be really cool. So. I really like this character. I like the fact that he's got the sushi restaurant in Big Dipper. I think that's super, super cool. I did that for you, Alan. Can I take your order? I did that for you. So I hope you like that. All right, guys. Well, we will do a separate session to finish Rayan up, but I'm glad we made some progress today. I think this is heading in a really good direction. It's gonna look so cool when it's finished. So I hope you enjoyed this one, Alan, and thank you guys for the laughs, and we will talk to you guys later. We'll schedule the next one. Okay. All right, you guys have a good Friday. Talk to you later.